honestly, like when I watch that stuff back, like I got no beef with the crowd. I got more beef with myself, and like because like I think sometimes like I've not delivered it in a way that like it should have been delivered. Like I sometimes like I lean too far into like the chilled out, like sort of sarcastic, witty style on like a punch that should have maybe been delivered a bit more serious or whatever. So it's just been a learning curve, man. But I feel like I'm getting there more so on the performance side of it. Like with the content side of it, like I'm happy with what I've come up with. But yeah, it's just finding the sweet spot with, especially with certain audiences, like we were talking about before.
Let me ask you a question, and this is literally that's just come into my head. I think you're a good person to ask it to, because I think even though you're still learning your craft at the moment, I think you've been pretty good at this. Battle rap's unique because you are after the crowd's reaction, right? Like there's nothing better than when the crowd pops or when they laugh or when they react, right? But that can throw you off. Like when you're in a flow and you're trying to get to the next, and again, I know you're just trying to keep it in rhythm with how you've practiced it, right? And it can be an like, how does a battler control or manage a crowd well? Or rather, how do you do it? How do you manage that energy of a crowd so that it doesn't get in the way of the performance you're trying to give, but does enhance what you've built in your own mind? As these are the crescendos, these are the moments I want them to be quiet, and these are the moments I want them to really fucking go mental for. Like, how do you manage that?
I think it like a large amount of it just comes down to being present in the room on the day, in the moment. Like I know that sounds like hippie stuff, but like yeah, like I don't know. I'm quite into like meditation and stuff like that, and like, I've always found it helpful to just like actually think about being present in the room. And like whenever a bar pops, like I just look around and like I'm just like trying to like catch people's eyes and sit and like just feed off things. Like I just feed off the reaction of the room to the point where like I don't even fully know how I'm gonna deliver certain bars now. Kind of just leave it to like the way the room is and like the reaction I'm getting from not only the build up to a punch, and it's one of them. Like sometimes, like it just in the moment it'll just be better to like look at this guy when you do it type of thing because he's wearing something specific. Like it's one of them. Like just trying to not make it look too like a drilled in performance that like is going to be thrown off at the slightest hit, like freaking annoyance or outside disturbance.
Because I'm thinking of a moment in particular. So it's the third against Bard when you used a flip into the first part of your round. Now, I could see you licking your lips like a fucking Cheshire cat, thinking this is going to be perfect, but I've seen guys who have that in their head and they almost get ahead of themselves. They lose their own thread because they're too like, oh, this is going to be really clever. And then they lose the thread and they're like, oh, fuck, where was I? How do you manage? Again, that's like I say, the execution of that was almost, again, shy of the wry smile that you were giving everyone to go, you're all about to fucking love this. Like, how do you manage that?
I don't even see it as an obstacle. I see it like, that's what I'm going for. Like I need that. Like if anything, it like just fucking doubles me XP, man. Like yeah, it's one of them. I know people like get thrown off, but like I don't know, man. Like I don't know if it's like a general thing or like me personally. I only stumble when I'm not prepped. I've only stumbled when I've not been prepped. Like, and like I've stumbled in 2 battles, the first battle and the Kinglee battle, and yeah, I just wasn't prepped like enough. Especially the first battle, like that wasn't even a stumble. I was outright choking in that battle, and like I was literally writing bars on flight because I was in Malaga the night before. Back at like 5 a.m. and I didn't even have like me bed until 5 a.m. So yeah, that was on me. But like, I'm since that battle, I vowed to like never leave it that late again. So I've been on it since then, and I've not stumbled once. Yeah, I feel that the reaction. So yeah, I don't really relate to the whole thrown off by big reactions.
What have been some of the moments that popped off the way you wanted? Like when you were practicing them and you go, man, I really hope this lands. And then in the room you did it and people were like, right. And it's that moment where you're like, right, I'm in my... What have been some of those real high moments for you in battles?
For me, like my favourite moments is always, well, I think, well, maybe there'll be some better moments down the line, but like, it was always my third battle, last buff, that CX bar in the third round. I was like, bro, I was on the fence with like myself being a battler, to be honest. Like, it's been a constant back and forth for years whether I should do it or not. And then, honestly, I was just being a fucking shit. I was, to be honest. Like, I should have done it years ago, but yeah, like I always like I told myself from the start, like if I suck, I need to just be self-aware and just not keep doing it. Like I don't want to just like freaking waste everyone's time, waste my own time. Like, and like after that, I done my first two battles. Like, it was illiterate, who I beat, and then ScoMo, who I also beat. But like, I just watched it back and I was like, I just wasn't convinced. Maybe I was just too critical of myself. I was like, I don't know, man. So like, we're going into the gas battle. I was like, if I don't like smash this, like, I don't know if it's actually for me or not. And yeah, I did smash it, and like that, like it was the first line. I didn't even like get to the actual like the second, like the actual rhyme. Like, it was just like my opening line of the round, just like absolutely shut the room down. And yeah, man, it's like that little clip like done, mate. It was like one of Prem's like highest viewed videos on TikTok, like mad numbers and stuff. And yeah, like from there it was just kind of like, I mean, there was a little bit of a slope dip last year, but then it's kind of like its way back up. So.